Good evening, William Sylvanus here again. One of the things that the 5% Project stands for is to help 5%ers change the mental story we tell ourselves about politics as is to the mental story we advocate. There's a lot of truth in the saying, change the story, change the world. We believe that if the we believe that if 5% of we the people change the story we expect out of politics and political action, it will change our political world. That is part of why we say, be the change you wish to see. Well, today I was looking through some files and I came across the teaching by Natalie Edwards entitled 4 Ways to Change Your Story and Change Your Life. 4 ways to change your story and change your life. Become aware of the language you use. Shift your focus from the past to the future. Write a new story, literally. Get support in moving forward. I had saved this presentation back in February, and reading it now again, I realized that it applies to our inner talk, our story related to politics. So here are Natalie's 4 ways to change your story and change your life. The story, the political story we tell ourselves. Number 1, become aware of the language you use. Natalie says, and I quote, I used to be a person who would say, I can't, or this happened to me. And I have worked with many clients who I instantly pick up on as doing the same. The reality is that when we are stuck in this way of thinking about our lives, we are feeding our subconscious with our same negative beliefs that will keep the story running in the same direction. We, the 5%, need to be careful with our negative political beliefs, or subconsciously, we will keep the current political story running in the same direction. When talking about the changes, or when we talk about the changes needed in our political systems and the changes needed in our political conversations, we need to change from saying we can't to we must. For example, we can't even talk about politics without fear or anger. 2, we must talk about politics without fear or anger. We need to substitute cooperation, dialogue, respect, and problem solving for the echo chamber messages of the political leaders who are stuck in the current us, them, fight and flight conversation. Number 2, shift your focus from the past into the future. Again, Natalie says, it's important to remember that what we focus on manifests and builds. I, for one, know how difficult it can be to keep positive. But the sooner we can begin to focus on what we want to create, our energies begin to shift, and we can begin to see things differently. When we focus on the future through things like learning a new skill or meeting new people, the past begins to dissipate and our feelings and emotions, and then our story begins to change. Ask yourself, how long do I want to keep this old story alive so that it controls my future? You'll find that focusing on a simple, intelligent question like that will inspire you to shift your focus faster. To Natalie's words, for political change purposes, I simply say, change your focus from the present onto the future. Number 3, again from Natalie, Many of us have kept our limiting stories alive because we've assumed we have to settle. But literally writing out a new story creates momentum around our future, what we want to create, and who we want to call in to support our new vision. A big block that comes up with people I work with is usually around a lot of old hurts and emotions that attach to our beliefs. So one of the first things I do is suggest clients write a new story. Okay, now that you stop laughing, let me say 5%ers, write out what you want our new political story to be. Let me suggest you write it out together with one or more 5%ers, or if you're allergic to writing, write it out in your mind. You'll be surprised how much of it sticks and how it starts to change your political thoughts and even your political actions. And number 4, support in moving forward. Again, from Natalie, changing our old patterns of thinking that no longer serve us is no easy task because most of us have been conditioned with them since being young. So it's important to surround ourselves with the right support and encouragement as we embark on this courageous work. This might be, well, rather, she says, this might not be friends or family. So I always recommend individuals seek out a mentor and use their intuition to guide them to finding the right person who can support them. Just a minute or so ago, I said, and write out your new story, that people who can, to find people who can support you as a 5%er moving forward. I said, write out your new story with one or more 5%ers. You see, the 5% Project is not a place to argue about our wildly different political agendas. Research shows, and I hear it over and over again, that people's opinions do not change based on reasoning, and especially when it comes to political agendas. But we, the 5%, are a gathering of people who believe that the current us, them, fight and flight political practices must change to cooperation, dialogue, respect, and problem solving. That's our purpose. You see, it is our purpose to create ways for 5%ers to get together and support one another. Maybe it will be a working group writing out your new local political story. Maybe it will be a United We Sing event, a tree replanting day, a street drama, a community garden, a bicycle ride. Maybe it'll be online, a Zoom breakfast or Zoom break, a messenger group. So today I ask, how would you like to interact with other 5%ers as we create a new political story? Talk to me, please.